Good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberlie Wright. Thank you so much for joining Word Up, the class all about poetry, short stories, and spoken word. So today we're going to go ahead and get started. Hope everybody is feeling well. So if you haven't done so already, you should please try to get a piece of paper or some paper and pen. I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. Try to always have paper and pen in this class if you're able to. So while we're getting ready, don't feel nervous or anything if you just haven't had a chance to work on your writings. It's okay. We can expound on them the next time. But even if you have some works that are not incomplete, you can definitely share them if you'd like to get feedback. If you are planning on being a participant in the upcoming Valentine's program or Black History program, reciting any spoken word or your works, your poem, please, if you want to, you can refrain from reciting it in class just to keep it fresh for the program so that everyone can hear it for the first time. And by doing so, I would like to go over your work to approve it. And so you are able to send me your work in my email, to my email address. And I'm going to type that in the chat right now. So my email address is Kimberlie, Kimberlie .Wright at FultonCountyGA.gov. All right, so I just wrote that in the chat. And if you have any other reasons that you need to contact me for anything, you are more than welcome to use that email address. Also, if you have to send any type of short messages to me during class, you are able to write in the chat, type in the chat as well. If you want it private, all you have to do is when you pull up the chat, you'll see to everyone, there's an arrow right beside everyone. You click that arrow and you can click on my name, and that way you'll send me a chat privately. Sometimes I might ask for your address or phone numbers, and if you don't want other people to get the information, you can send it in the chat privately or possibly the email. So I see we have a few new participants or people interested in Word Up. If you feel like you are enjoying the class, please continue to join us, and I just would like to say welcome. Thank you so much. All right, last week I gave a few prompts to everyone to get their juices flowing to start writing about something for Valentine's. And what we worked on was what I said to write the poems in the form of a haiku or in the form of like the popular Valentine's poem Roses are red, violets are blue. So even whatever inspired you to get your writing done is fine. I'm just going to call out the names of the people that I gave prompts to, and if anybody else is in class new, they would like a prompt to start on, I have more subjects to give you. So I have Miss Bernita Waller. I gave her flowers. Jean Harris, I gave her beloved. Sharon Hartnett, I gave the word heart. Vicki Myers, I gave her the word special. Mr. Ronnie Clark, I gave him the word passion. And Miss Rhonda Willis, I gave her the word rose. So these young people were supposed to write a poem about those words that inspired them, or do it in the form of a haiku. It was up to them. I don't know if you all can unmute yourselves, but if you are able to unmute yourselves, if you want a poetry prompt for the Valentine's poem, please raise your hand. Miss Jean, I already gave you one. I gave you beloved. Miss Betty, you want one?
Yeah, I'll take one.
So again, you know the haiku poem. If someone is everybody familiar with the haiku poem? Anybody that's not? All right, you got to speak up. If not, I won't be able to help you. So anyway, don't feel shy or anything. So Miss Betty, your poetry prompt for the, also sorry, not only did I say they can write those poems in the form of a haiku, Haiku, I also said they can do an acrostic poem, Acrostic. All right, so Miss Betty, the word I'm gonna give you, and if you want to write it down, it's going to be, I'll write it down myself. Miss Betty Coleman, I'm gonna give you the word candy.
Candy.
Candy, what you eat, the sweet stuff. Candy, candy.
Okay.
So all of these single words have something to do with Valentine's. All right, so you can write on candy during class. You can write on it to share next week. It's all up to you. All right, so also we want to go into, give me 1 second, what in the world? All right, the first thing I want to say, and there's no pressure for Mr. Ronnie Clark. Last week when I had class overtime and some people had to leave class, so we had about 2 people in the class, and you recited a poem that you wrote during class. Mr. Ronnie recited a poem that included all of the words that I gave everybody. And I said to him, I would love for him to share the poem with everybody today due to the fact we didn't get a chance to hear it. If you don't want to, that's your option of choice. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't have it, it's up to you. But would you like to share the poem?
Yes, I'll share it.
Give me 1 second. Thank you so much. It's really nice. All right. You got the spotlight.
Okay. The words that you gave everyone last week were beloved, flower, passion, heart, special, and rose. So during the class, I was thinking about those, and I kind of like put those together, and I added another couple of lines since the class. So here it is. The title is Beloved Flower for Hasina. My beloved flower, you are the passion of my heart, the special rose of my soul. In the winter of my life, you are a blossom of spring. You are my beloved wife. Thank you.
All right. Look at Miss Hasina. Looking beautiful. Thank you, Mr. Rennie. That was really, really good. Okay. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else that wrote something that they want to share from that particular category? Miss Jean, you have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
You have the spotlight.
Oh, wow. Okay. My word was beloved, and I did a haiku because haiku forces you to say so much in 3 lines.
Yes, ma'am.
Great adoration, extreme love, eternal care. Now one is beloved.
That's good. Yeah, very good.
That was really good.
Hey,
So did you have to keep going over that a couple of times until you got the right number of syllables? Or did you just kind of pull it out smoothly?
well, I used the symbols and I tried to do, I counted them, but then I felt like it was getting contrived, so I just left it and it came out okay.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that piece. And don't forget, young people, if you want to, continue to revise and change things, it's up to you. But if you feel like it's finished, don't forget to record your finished pieces in your journals or your books. Anybody else
I need to go on.
you want to prompt? I mean, you want to recite?
Well, it's the one I wrote, you gave me flowers.
Yes, ma'am. You have the spotlight.
Okay, this is an acrostic, I hope.
Yes.
For you, dear friend, love came quickly, only to make you wish each day remains so sweet.
Each day, what again?
Remains
Oh,
so sweet.
sweet. So beautiful.
And
So,
then I tried this haiku about me, but I'm not sure it came out exactly right.
did you say it was about you?
Well, I thought you said something about African American history, or
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
it's not really African American history, you'll see.
No problem.
It says, and I'm not sure I counted exactly right, so that's what I really needed you to see. Okay. Kinky, sweet, red describes the natural growing on my head.
Could you say that again? That was really nice. Could you say that again?
Kinky, sweet, red describes the natural growing on my head.
All right, sister, that was good.
Very good.
Thank you. Growing on my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, even sometimes if you start to read some different haiku poems like online, you'll find that sometimes there are little variations where people might omit one syllable or add one. It might be just needed for the poem. But as long as you still can stick to the 5-7-5, which is 17 syllable rule, it's fine. But that was really, really nice.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else out there that needs a Valentine poetry prompt? All right. Anybody have any other?
Hello,
You want one, Miss?
Miss Sally, Miss Dawson, yeah,
Okay, so you got a pen and a paper?
yes,
All right. I'm writing down Sally Dawson and your word to write about. You can write this in the form of a haiku or an acrostic poem. But for whatever reason, if you're not feeling those two types of poems to stick to, and you feel like inspiration just to write your own thing, it's up to you. But your word is going to be affection.
okay,
Affection.
okay,
All right. So please have your papers out. So, everybody needs to recite something or ask a question, please feel free to let me know.
Kim,
Yes.
I wrote a couple of haikus yesterday.
Okay, cool.
Should I share them now or later?
1 second. 1 second.
this is the third. Yeah, I gotta go.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay. We have a son in New York City, and I was teasing him last night when I read this poem to him. New York City, snow, knee deep. Atlanta, sunshine, collard greens on the stove.
Can you please say it one more time? I'm so sorry.
Okay. New York City, snow, knee deep. Atlanta, sunshine, collards on the stove.
Were you
Oh,
aggressive to him about the weather that you have down here?
But it's snowing. They having a snowstorm up in New York.
I know I have a coworker who's stuck up there, and then I called up there to one of my friends. I said, "Is it snowing up there?" He's like, "Yeah, it's supposed to be 16 inches and this, that, and that." I was like, "Ooh." Sometimes when it snows in New York, I get nervous that it might snow down here, but it won't last long, I guess. That was really nice. So was
Okay.
that one haiku poem altogether?
Yeah, that's one haiku. That one was pretty much on the money, but the syllables were just right.
Did you entitle it or give it a title?
No, I guess I'd call it, I don't know.
Knee deep.
Well,
Knee
you
deep,
don't
yeah.
have to think of it now. It'll come to you. Make sure if you want to give it a title. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is the other one. This is kind of like Black history in a sense. Just a minute. George Floyd breathed his last breath to bring injustice to its knees. The doves cry.
hmm.
The salute.
Okay, good job.
Thank you. That's all I want to share.
Okay, thank you so much. So, is there anyone that think they want to? Oh, Miss Jean, you want to recite something?
Well, I want you guys to get a little laugh because I took wedding vows twice. I've been married twice. So
Okay.
I said I should deal with that. So I wrote a haiku. Dearly beloved, wedding vow now pledged. Love is eternal.
That's good.
So your love for both of those people's return.
Love is eternal. So whenever you love, it's okay.
That's true. That's really good. Okay, good job. So I wanted to give you 3 tips today if you want to write these down to have better words for poetry. Better words for poetry. If you want to write these down, it's up to you. Number 1, use a thesaurus. One of the best ways, if you don't have a book, because a lot of people probably have eliminated their books or don't buy books anymore, I'm not sure, but you can go to the thesaurus.com. A thesaurus will help you to find other words that are related to the word that you're trying to use, but be careful which word that you switch it with, because it can change the whole meaning of what you were trying to convey in the poem. And sometimes don't forget that even if you write a poem, if 20 people read the poem, 20 people might get a different perception of what they're actually reading. So even that's why a lot of times as artists, you might look at a painting and say, oh, this painting is about this, but you really don't know sometimes unless you get the commentary, what the artist puts out as far as what they were meaning to put out as it pertains to what the whole art piece is about. So even still, it's good to see what type of perceptions you get from people as it pertains to your works. Number 2, the first one was use a thesaurus. This will help you find better words for your poetry. Number 2, utilize etymology. Etymology is only finding the root or the origin of the word that you're trying to use. For example, I don't know if you've heard this word before, but it's not anything new, even though the young people are using it these days. One word is called swag, S-W-A-G. Swag has several meanings. Swag could be a bag, like a purse. Swag back in the Shakespearean time, Shakespeare used the word swagger, which he was meaning to say that a person had the smarts, like a smart person. And also swagger could mean the way that you are or the way you walk, sort of like with a gangsterling walk. It has many meanings. So utilize etymology as it pertains to finding the root or origin of the word. That'll help you. Number 3 for the 3 tips is word choice. Word choice. Word choice means if you are describing something like a sheet on the bed, it would be better to describe it all the way to detail to the T, like if it were a satin sheet. Then get into what color it is. It's a red satin sheet. So when you think about a red satin sheet, you can formulate more words to put in your poem that have to deal with a red satin sheet, like scarlet, passion, blood, smooth or silky. So all combining or building all these words will help you as it pertains to building your poem. The next thing you want to do is on your paper, just write this little graph. If you were writing about, let's say, this will help you build words. Let's say a vegetable, write the word vegetable on your paper. Then, like you write the little lines coming out that are going to take you to another category, such as with a family tree. You want to write 2 lines going down like so. My hands are showing you. From the word vegetable, then you want to write, which is an upside down V, so you can get 2 more categories from the word vegetable. When I think of a vegetable, I would say my next word would be, I'm sorry. My first word was broccoli, broccoli. Then I write down the next category, the 2 lines. One thing about broccoli is that it's green, and then the next thing is that it's a vegetable, So from the word green, you're gonna write that same upside down V bracket, and under vegetable, the same thing. So what 2 words do you think of when you think of the word green, Miss Waller?
Fresh,
Okay,
green, yeah, outdoors.
good job. Under my bracket, I have color, green is a color, and I have grass, because the most green that I ever see is like grass or like the trees or something.
Mm-hmm.
And under vegetable, Miss Jean, what 2 words would you write under vegetable?
Nutritious, healthy.
Good job. And so my 2 words I have are nourishing and savory. So this is how you continue to build up words to possibly use in your poetry. Those are just a few tips. You can write those little diagrams to continue to expand your words out. That will help you. All right. One more. All right. One other thing that can help you with your poetry, you want to write 3 aspects. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. The first thing you can do sometimes to even build a poem is, I'm not sure if you're writing about a room, but if you're writing about, let's say, Black history or love, any subject will do. But we're gonna just surmise to say we're writing about number 1, objects in the room. You can even, if you want to write a poem about these suggestions I'm giving you, feel free. You just want to continue to write if you have the time to build your skill. Objects in the room. You want to name objects in your room that are relevant to you. And again, with the word play that I said about sheet, you want to be very detailed. You don't want to just say dresser, bed, TV.
Hold on.
You want to describe your dresser like gray wooden dresser. I don't know. Or canopy, a high canopy bed. I don't know. But you want to be more detailed so that it can give you reference or relevance to what you're going to actually write about, more words. All right, the second thing you want to write is a lot of alliteration. A lot of alliteration means to just pick one letter. I'm going to pick a letter today. You don't have to write on it, but it just gives you an idea. The letter I'm going to pick is P. And so what I would say is write down 10 to 15 words that start with the letter P. You don't have to do that now. That's just an example of how to build up vocabulary for your works. And another thing that's really fun, I kind of like learned this in elementary school. So, you know, when you go to places like home improvement stores like Home Depot or Lowe's, something like that, in the paint department, you have color swatches. Color swatches, the cards that have the different colors on them. Sometimes they have like 4, 5. The color swatches, what's really good about them, I don't know if you want to have so many cards around, but you can cut them in sections. The sections that have like a stack of cards. The cards are not necessarily used for the color, but the names of the colors. So they have really, really unique names that will also help you in your vocabulary, because actually if you have a word like sultry, benevolent blue, maybe you didn't know what the word benevolent meant, so you can look that word up and it might help you in your works. So for example, these are some of the words that might be on a color swatch. Acid green, African violet, aqua, avocado, banana mania, bedazzled blue. And so also you want to have words that are made up, like if you were to even think about colors, red, yellow, blue, you don't want to use colors that are primary, but bring out colors that are in that family of blues, like azul, turquoise, baby blue, that type of thing. Okay, so those are our tips for today. The last thing I'm going to do, remember, if you want to be on the program for Valentine's program, which is next week, please contact me. And if you want to be on program for Black History program to recite your pieces, or a piece, not pieces, a piece for the program, please contact me. Right now, at the end of the class, I'm going to give you a couple of poetry prompts to write about, and possibly this may even be your poetry prompt for your work for the programs. All right. So a few poetry prompts if you want it to be on program for Valentine's, and you can write about exactly what you want to. It's up to you. Write about a person that you love. What makes this person special? We often say that we love something, for example, like chocolate. What is the difference between loving a person and loving a thing or an activity? What do you think that love, why do you think that love is associated with the heart as opposed to other organs in the body? These are just kind of like thoughts that you know, I'm putting out there as prompts because that will help you write about some really deep and different things. Write a paragraph to convince people that a stapler is the most romantic Valentine's gift you could ever give to someone.
A stapler?
Stapler, like a stapler machine. What does it mean to have a heart of gold? You only have to write down some of these ideas if you're interested in it, or even if it prompted, inspired you to think of something totally different. What does it mean to have a heart of gold? Do you think that having a heart of gold, do you think that having a heart of gold is a good thing or not? Why or why not? Sorry. Do you like celebrating Valentine's Day? Why or why not? Make a list of as many things you can think of that are either pink or red. How would the world be different if people could not feel love? Now moving on to the Black History prompts, just to give you a few ideas of some things you can write about. I'm trying to engage you further by pushing you to learn about what Black history really means. You can journal about important topics, and it's a great way to get you thinking critically and about tough subjects to help you examine your own beliefs. All right. Why do we celebrate Black History Month? Is it important to have Black History Month, or should it be considered part of American history?
You okay?
Why has it taken America so long to have an African American president? Did someone have a question or a comment? Oh. Number 4, is there still racism in America? Imagine life as an enslaved person. How would you have felt? It is important to encourage diversity around the world because and I'll just give you one more. Some of the most important inventions that were created by African Americans are and sorry I gave you so many, but I just really wanted you to jot down maybe what you probably were interested in. All right, so thank you all so much for joining today with Word Up. If you have any other classes that you are interested in taking, please go ahead and join those classes. And this is Kimberlie Wright with Word Up. Have a wonderful and blessed